There's been so many computer games delayed recently, it's been insane. Some games have received delay after delay. While a game being delayed means more development time to finish a game and iron out the bugs, we've learned that a game with multiple delays, even over years, can still release as a buggy, unfinished mess. What pushed me to make this video was that I made a video talking about the rest of the big game releases coming out this year, and I included the release dates for each game. And within a few days of it being published, 2 games had already been delayed. I had to go back and post updates on the delays. Let's start by having a quick look at some of the recent game delays. Outriders was originally due for late 2020, postponed to February 2021, then April the 1st. It'd only be ironic if it was delayed again from April Fool's Day. Deathloop was due in 2020, moved to the first quarter of 2021, then moved to May, and finally released in September. There's so many delays to go through, I can't go through them all. Here's a list of just some of the more recent delays. Halo Infinite is another interesting one. Originally slated for 2020, after feedback it was delayed indefinitely until re-announced for December the 8th, but it's no longer launching with a co-op campaign. That part of the game has been stripped out and will be delayed and patched in later down the line. This is just the tip of the delays. You might as well just say every single computer game has been delayed. As I'm making this video, Elden Ring has just been delayed too, which I was really looking forward to. Loads of games that may have originally been planned to hit 2021's Christmas or holiday season have been delayed into 2022. The first few months of 2022 are going to be overloaded with so many awesome games. But ironically, there's so many games, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the games companies strategically delay their games again to target a quieter time period with less competition. One of the biggest reasons for game delays is the ongoing pandemic, which has disrupted game development studios, and a lot of developers are having to work from home, which will not always be as efficient as working in a studio alongside other devs and designers, and delays due to this are understandable. But when a game receives multiple delays, delay after delay, and then still releases it in an unfinished state, that's down to the higher-ups and management doing a terrible job. Cyberpunk 2077 is a good example. It's funny because Cyberpunk's co-founder tried to blame their QA and bug testing department for not finding the bugs. He pretty much threw them under the bus when the game was clearly nowhere near finished.
Every change and improvement needed to be tested, and as it turned out, our testing did not show a big part of the issues you experienced while playing the game.
You don't need bug testers to tell your game is completely unplayable. In fact, so unplayable, Cyberpunk was taken down from the PlayStation and Xbox stores. I bet CD Projekt Red regret not delaying Cyberpunk for a 4th time. Ubisoft's original Watch Dogs was another example of a game that launched unfinished and broken. Which I think asks the question, are computer game studios announcing their game release dates way too early? I often see studios announcing that their game has just gone gold and they're celebrating, but it's usually a week or so before the game is due to be released, which is just insane to me. Gone gold meaning the game is finished, and back in the days of CD-ROMs, a lot of the writable CDs were gold in colour. Originally, once the Gold Master had been created and sent out, it would be too late to make any additional changes to the game, but thanks to the modern ability to easily patch games, the meaning of Gone Gold has changed. The release version of a game will be rushed, buggy, and in some cases missing content, all to meet work deadlines. And it's because game studios know they can fall back on the day one patch to fix the bugs and finish the game. I'd personally prefer it if game studios took the extra time to polish their games, and I would appreciate it if they announced their game's release dates closer to the game's complete state. Often at big events like E3, you see a big game being revealed, for example Starfield. Then the next year at E3 you see a little bit more of Starfield. Then the next year you'll see a little bit more again. And it's just increasingly difficult to be excited for a game that you know is years off completion, and you'll see again at E3 next year. Maybe the game is being announced a little bit too early when all you have to show is a little more than the game's logo. Like Metroid Prime 4. But games companies like to build up the hype early and get release dates out as soon as possible, no matter how unrealistic they are. Beta tests were originally used to help the development of a game, gather useful feedback, test features on a large scale, or stress test servers and hardware. But these days, more often than not, beta tests are instead used as a marketing device to pull in extra sales through players demoing a game. Players are encouraged to play the beta demo through it only being available for a limited time. Even after Diablo 2 resurrected its beta and stress testing, the game was unplayable at launch and continues to have many server issues even a month after its launch. The developers behind Diablo, Blizzard, are only now just apologising for the issues, not continuing to fix the game and servers. The legendary Nintendo director, producer, artist, designer and manager Shigeru Miyamoto is quoted saying, "A delayed game is eventually good. but a rushed game is forever bad. He's completely right, and I'd rather a game was delayed and finished, but now you get this weird middle ground where a game is released, rushed and unfinished anyway, and it just gets patched and fixed over the next few years of the game. Maybe the movie industry will start doing this, releasing broken, unfinished movies, then charging you again to watch the fixed, patched version of the movie. Oh wait, that's already here with the Justice League movies. I can handle the delays. It's a bit annoying when there's multiple delays, but I can't stand this kind of stuff with charging for broken, buggy, unfinished games, and the mentality just to fix it later. I miss the days when you just buy a finished game on the disc or cartridge. If you're a PC gamer, you're going to want to check out my video on too many launchers ruining PC gaming. That'll be on screen now, but for now, peace.